Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka The Weather Gamer, bringing you week 4 of APA Academy. Your Chicago Corviknights are taking on Lantern Joe and his Green Forest Rowletts, or Forest Green Rowletts, I apologize for that. You can check out Joe's links down below to see his side of the battle. Well, let's check him out. As always, you can hit like on this or subscribe if you want more Draft League content. So, the team we're rocking out with, Joe has not won a game. I've only won one, and then that was the game that I won via timer. Also, yes, I know the background's different. I couldn't get connected at home, so my dad, now that I'm healthy, allowed me to connect over at his work. So, we're going to try and do this on Wi-Fi. But, anyways, the team we're rocking out with here, Gengar, Hydrei-Be-Gon, Milotic, A-Tails, Passimian, Rhyperior, Eldegoss, Orbeetle, Flareon, Noctowl, and G-Max Caparaja. The team for Joe and his Rowletts is Dracovish, Jirachi, Arcanine, Braviary, Reuniclus, Venusaur, Hitmontop, Jolteon, Xatu, Liepard, and G-Max Alcremie. So as far as the 6 I think he brings, I think Jolteon comes. It has a decent matchup. It's faster than everything on my team. It checks Milotic. It doesn't do anything to Rhyperior besides Toxic it. Doesn't do a whole lot to G-Max Caparaja, but outside of that, it does have a decent matchup. And to me, it feels like a necessity to take out Milotic unless he chooses to go Venusaur. But I don't think Venusaur has the best of matches versus me, so... But Venusaur is viable. I think Arcanine comes... with probably Wild Charge, Play Rough, Morning Sun, and I honestly don't think he brings, well, maybe it's either Flare Blitz or CC, and I'm inclined to think that it's CC with no fire move, because CC hits Hydreigon, CC hits Ninetales, CC hits Caparaja, CC hits Rhyperior, so that would be my inclination, and then Morning Sun to heal. I also think that Mr. Vish comes just because it's so powerful. It's probably going to be Scarfed Mr. Vish because he doesn't have a web setter. So my thoughts are Scarfed Vish. I think Jirachi's a valid play. It could be Scarfed as well. It stops Gengar from sweeping with poison moves. However, it does not want to take a Shadow Ball. Yeah. I think Hitmontop comes as a spin blocker / defensive mon for... It's probably Intimidate Assault Vest for Hydreigon, as well as being able to shut down Caparaja from play roughing it, and just all in all be a very annoying mon. And then I think he brings his G-Max Alcremie, even though it doesn't have the greatest matchup versus me. It needs to come in order to check Hydreigon up, and... who doesn't want to bring their G-Max, so that's kind of my inclination here. So as far as what we're bringing, let me get in, oops, I'm not in the game. Let me get into the game here. I just got over here and got set up in time to record, so. Okay, Pokemon, to the box we go. Check somewhere. So we do have Alolan Ninetales here with heavy-duty boots. I will say that I have unfortunately had to gen my Alolan Ninetales. I will have to gen certain mons because of the fact that my action replay that I use to override the abilities ends up canceling out my override when it goes through the bank. The bank filters see that and they're like, nah, no tricky shit from you. So, unfortunately, Tinted Lens Noctowl I will have to gen. Flareon sets I will have to gen if they're not Flash Fire, if they're Guts. Alolan Ninetales I have to gen right now until I catch those mons in the older games. Caparaja I won't have to gen though because... and competitive Milotic if I bring that. But Caparaja I won't have to gen anymore because of the current event, so I can get them. Anywho, the Ninetales here, heavy-duty boots. We are max special attack, timid nature with 184 in our speed stat, 72 into the HP stat. Speed creeping for his Jirachi, so I'll know if it's Scarf Jirachi, because the one thing you'll notice with Joe's team is his fastest mon is Jolteon and then Liepard, but after that, Jirachi is the next closest thing. Liepard is not coming max speed if it does come, so Ninetales does not need to creep to that. And Ninetales can't creep Jolteon anyways, so... We're running Freeze Dry, Aurora Veil, Toxic, and Dark Pulse. This set combination pretty much gives me the best chance at potentially sweeping. Freeze Dry will kill Dracovish. As soon as I put up an Aurora Veil, I should be able to live a hit from Dracovish. And then Freeze Dry kill it. Dark Pulse to take out Jirachi. I don't have a way to hit Arcanine, which is why I am Toxic. Put that thing on a timer. Braviary has to fear the ice move. Renoregus doesn't appreciate the ice move. Venusaur has to fear the ice move. Hitmontop, if it's Assault Vest, it still has to be wary of Moonblasts hitting it. Jolteon is frail, so it doesn't necessarily want to take repeated hits. Xatu, afraid of the ice move. Liepard, afraid of the fairy move. And Alcremie can come in on this pretty freely, but Alcremie does not like getting toxic, so toxicking the Alcremie would be really nice. The one thing I forgot to say in the 6 I think he's bringing, Xatu is a very valid bring versus me. It could swap out for Jolteon, it could swap out for Arcanine potentially, or swap out for Hitmontop, because me setting Sticky Webs would neutralize his Scarfers, and then Gengar and Hydreigon can come in and clean up after that. So I do think he might bring Hydreigon just to Magic Bounce, which is going to be me having to be very careful with A-Tails for that. So let me pull that down. So yes, that is the Ninetales. Up next we have Gengar here. Gengar, obviously Curse Body, carrying the Expert Belt. I didn't want to run a second Life Orb on this week. Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable running a second Life Orb on, pretty much. We are 224 speed, timid nature with 252 special attack. The speed stat lets me outspeed the Liepard. If for some reason he brings Liepard, I can outspeed it. Unless it's Scarfed. Liepard shouldn't come in on Gengar for fear of getting Focus Mist, but even though I don't have it. Shadow Ball, Psychic, Sludge Wave, and Thunderbolt, the moveset here, just hits his team extremely hard. He doesn't have a very good switch into Gengar. Dracovish does not want to start taking T-Bolts. Jirachi can't check in for fear of Shadow Ball unless it's Scarfed. If Scarf Rachi comes in on a Sludge Wave, then I know it's probably Scarfed. Or if Rachi comes in on Sludge Wave, I know it's probably Scarfed. Arcanine doesn't appreciate repeated damage. Braviary's going to get T-Bolted. Renoregus doesn't want to take Shadow Balls. Venusaur, Psychic, will get it. Hitmontop, Psychic will get it. Jolteon, again, being frail, does not want to tank too many hits. Xatu fears the Shadow Ball and the T-Bolt. Liepard has to fear the Focus Mist. And Alcremie does not really appreciate the Sludge Wave. So he does not have a very good switch in as long as I click the right move, or once Jirachi goes down. He does not have a switch in, besides an Assault Vest user, to this Gengar. So Gengar can put in a lot of work. The next mon up we have is our Hydreigon, which I will pull here shortly. Give me a second. You can back up. There you go. So Hydreigon with Life Orb. This is why I didn't want to run dual Life Orb users. I just don't like putting that much chip, especially since I don't have a Wish Passer except Flareon right now. So I didn't want to chip Gengar and Hydreigon down fast. We are 232 speed, speed boosting nature, 252 special attack, 24 into HP. Speed creeping the Arcanine, so unless he Scarfed Arcanine, we're faster. With Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, Flash Cannon, and Roost. Roost is obviously there to help me heal off my damage from Life Orb. Dark Pulse, Flash Cannon, and Dragon Pulse are my best combinations of hitting his team. Dark Pulse takes out Jirachi. Dracovish does not want to get Dragon Pulsed, especially after it's chipped. Arcanine does not appreciate the damage unless it's Spadef natured. Braviary doesn't want to take hits. Rowlett doesn't appreciate Dark Pulse. Venusaur can come in. If it's Spadef Venusaur, it can come in and tank him. But then I'll make a switch to take care of that. Hitmontop comes in, tanks hits. Again, I really expect it to be AV Hitmontop probably in order to tank those hits. Jolteon being frail, Xatu Dark Pulse, Liepard can come in, but I do get Focus Blast, so I have to be careful of that. And Alcremie cannot freely switch in, unless it's got Recover, it cannot freely switch in and onto Hydreigon, because I'm doing 50 to 60% with Flash Cannon to Alcremie before it's G-Maxed. So he would not be able to recover, he would have to G-Max in order to survive the next Flash Cannon. Basically, once Alcremie G-Maxes, I have to sack something off in order to bring in Caparajah, which is really unfortunate, but because the Alcremie probably is going to be Recover, Mystic Fire, Fairy Move, which will heal itself, and then Psychic, because that's his best way of taking out, or Stored Power, because that's his best way of taking out Gengar, Hydreigon, and Caparajah, the three main checks, and then potentially Recover to heal, unless he goes Calm Mind and uses his G-Max move to recover, which that would be very scary, but yeah, that's Hydreigon. Then we got Milotic here. Nope, that's not what I need. I need this, thank you. We have Milotic here with Flame Orb. It is Marvel Scale, obviously, for the burns. 252 HP, 200 defense, Bold Nature, which will allow me to take a hit from Dracovish, unless he's banded. If he's banded, I can't take a hit with Milotic. And then 56 speed just for a little speed creep situation. Moveset of Dragon Breath, Recover, Scald, and Toxic. Yes, I know it gets Dragon Pulse. Yes, I know Dragon Pulse does more damage. No, I am not running Dragon Pulse, because I would rather have the 30% flinch, or the 30% para chance, than the extra damage from Dragon Pulse, because if he is Scarfed or Banned, and he Fishious Rends, I die to the banded one, but if he's Scarfed, I'll live the Scarfed Fishious Rend, and Milotic will Dragon Pulse for about 30%. If I get the para, then Fishious Rend Scarf Set is no longer an issue. If it's banded, then it really tanks it down, because then I've got multiple Mons that outspeed, and I no longer have to fear Fishious Rend. Plus, if I put up Veil, then I'm in a pretty good position as well. So, Recover, obviously, to recover. Scald for the Arcanine. Toxic. Jirachi switches in. That's about the only thing I'm really worried about, besides Venusaur. Vish, Dragon Pulse and Breath has to scare it. Jirachi switches in, but I recover on that. Arcanine doesn't come in because of Scald. Braviary doesn't really want to get scalded. Also has to fear Ice Beam, in case I am running Ice Beam. Rowlett gets scalded. Venusaur has to fear the Ice Beam. Hitmontop can come in, but Hitmontop doesn't appreciate a Scald Burn. Jolteon's really the best check here, and Toxicking that is good. Xatu could come in. Again, Ice Beam fear. Liepard could come in. Doesn't want to get chipped down, but I can Toxic it. Alcremie could come in, which is another good Toxic hit. So that is the Milotic. Then we have Orbeetle here coming in next. Yes, I know it's G-Max symbol, but I will not be G-Maxing it. It is just standard Orbeetle with... Whoops, where'd my thing go? Come here, you. We are max HP 248, 124 Spadef boosting nature, calm nature, 136 into the speed stat. That specific creep is to be faster than Hitmontop. If he's like max speed Hitmontop, and I'm faster than Alcremie. Actually, no, I'm speed crypt Alcremie. I'm faster than Alcremie. That way I can U-turn out if need be. That sort of situation, but move-wise, we have Psyshock, U-turn, Recover, and Sticky Web. This is basically to counter his Hitmontop. Psyshock will takes on your defense stat, so it'll hit defensive side instead of the Assault Vest. U-turn, I pivot around. Basically, the goal is to get webs up and check the Hitmontop. Also with the Spadef, I can kind of check the Alcremie a little bit. Not a ton, but I can check it just a slight amount. But basically, Orbeetle needs to set webs to get Dracovish slowed down if I don't pick up the para. And then webs are really good because it slows down his entire team, allowing Gengar and Hydreigon to outspeed and sweep. Slash, I don't have a Scarfer, so yeah. Kind of need webs. Again, Xatu, once Xatu goes down, then I can freely web. He does not have a Magic Bouncer to put him back on my side, and his only defog is Braviary and Xatu, or he spins with top, but if he tries to spin with top, Gengar comes in and spin blocks him, so I just have to be careful I don't put up webs against the Xatu. So if the Xatu's not there, I'm free to Sticky Web. And then obviously Recover for health, and then U-turn to pivot. And last but not least, we have our G-Max Caparaja here. Why wouldn't I bring G-Max Caparaja? It's the standard max HP, 252, Adamant max attack, 252. 4 on the defense stat. Sheer Force has to hold the Pokeball. Iron Head, Play Rough, Earthquake, and Stone Edge are my 4 moves. This combination just punishes his team very, very hard. Once I G-Max, there's actually no switch into this. Besides Mr. Vish, which does not want to take a lot of damage. Repeatedly take a lot of damage. Jirachi gets Earthquaked, Arcanine gets Earthquaked and Stone Edged, Braviary gets Stone Edged. Runerigus can tank it, but does not appreciate the hits. Venusaur, Earthquake, Hitmontop, I Play Rough. Dracovish actually gets Play Rough, so Dracovish doesn't want to come in either. That doesn't switch in. Jolteon gets Earthquaked, Xatu gets Stone Edged, Liepard gets Play Roughed, and Alcremie gets Iron Headed. So nothing really wants to take this. Nothing really wants to come in on this. I have to play around the sack game, probably. The other issue is if he decides to bring his dual Intimidate, he'll probably switch his Intimidators in and out against me in order to lower my attack. So if I G-Max Caparaja and then Arcanine comes out, I will probably Play Rough against the Arcanine to catch the Hitmontop coming in and do as much damage to Hitmontop as I can. And I do want to set my Steel Spikes before I leave, so at some point I will go for the Iron Head just to make sure I have the Steel Spikes up. So yeah, that's going to be the team. Sorry this team builder went long. I will be right back as soon as we get connected for the match. Alright, we're back. We could not get connected for the life of us. So we are doing it on Showdown. Okay. Now we're gonna try this. So, National Dex Challenge. Show all teams challenge. There we go. So yeah, like I said, we ended up having to play on Showdown because neither one of us can get connected. be a land, because land timer is super stupid. So we'll see what he brings. I'm gonna pause it for a second till we connect, I guess. Okay, we are connected. No Jolteon did bring the... No Jolteon, but did bring the... Oh, cancel, that's not the one I need to mess with. Did bring the Xatu, so... I kind of figured Xatu might come just to stop my sticky webbing. So let me grab Xatu here. Walking Xatu. We got Arcanine here, Vish is here, Jirachi's here. Alchemy. He did not bring Hitmontop, which is really surprising. Instead he brought Runerigus. I would have thought that Hitmontop would have made a lot of sense versus me, but... Runerigus, where are you? There you are. As far as leads go, I have a feeling he's leading either Jirachi, Boing, or Egregious, so I don't see a reason not to lead Ninetales. Or I just lead Caparajah right off the bat. And go big. Or I lead Gengar. Gengar has a great lead too. I'm just gonna lead Gengar. Yeah, on the Jirachi. So... Gengar... Jirachi... Scarf... Zen... Headbutt... Will kill me. Shadow Ball will... If he's afraid that I'm Scarf, Shadow Ball will kill. Has a chance to kill him, but... I'm gonna scout it with Hydrei-Be-Gon and see. Into Runerigus. Okay. So... That's where... I'm surprised he did that. Because... Shadow Ball would have done a ton of damage to from Gengar. Unless he's Assault Vest or Spadef. I mean, Hydrei-Be-Gon here, I Dark Pulse and do a ton of damage. I could Flash Cannon in case he switches into the Alchemy, which he does. Do 73% . Now, if he wants to G-Max... If he wants to G-Max now, what do I go into? I think it's Orbeetle. Low Ball. Into Arcanine. Okay, bad switch for me. But it does get me in my Milotic. And I can put up my defense with the Flame Orb. Flare Blitz resisted. He burned me. Sorry, that's my phone. I need to turn that down. He burned me with Flare Blitz, which I think is really funny. Now the question is he going into the Vish? I'm gonna predict the Vish goes Jirachi. Okay. Don't know if Jirachi gets... Jirachi... Don't know if Jirachi gets a fairy move. I need to check that. Jirachi... Smogon... Sword Shield, any fairy moves, Jirachi. Razzle Dazzle. Yeah, so it does Razzle Dazzle, which would be a huge problem. I think I'm just gonna stay in and recover. He does have Thunder Punch, okay. So Thunder Punch. See if he's Scarfed or if he changes his move. Drain Punch. He's not Scarfed. I'm behind Veil. Caparajah. Arcanine. Showdown usage. Behind Aurora Veil. Flare Blitz is still chunking me. I'm gonna go Milotic. I think he's banned at Arcanine. Okay. So I'm gonna go Gengar. Yep, on the Wishmaker. I'm not taking anything from this thing. So I pretty freely fire off Shadow Ball versus his team. It'll do a ton to Jirachi. Xatu can't switch in. Renorigus will take a chunk, unless it's Assault Vest, which I'll do here in a second. That's got to be Assault Vest. Nope, it's not Assault Vest. So I just fire off another Shadow Ball. And Renorigus goes down. I'm faster than Jirachi. So it's probably Scarf Vish. Goes boing. Is this thing scarfed? Xatu. Psychic kills me, but Shadow Ball and Thunderbolt kill this. I'm thinking he's Scarfed. Yeah, he's definitely Scarfed if he stayed into Shadow Ball then. So Scarfed Xatu. Banded Arcanine. I don't know what Jirachi is. Magic Birdie, Scarf. No, Arcanine's leftovers. Okay. Okay, now I set Sticky Web. Gengar is nice for the Jirachi, granted. What does Hydrei-Be-Gon still do in this battle? It checks Vish if I put webs up. What does Ninetales do in this battle? Nothing. I'm gonna go Ninetales. He can G-Max on me if he wants. Recovers, okay. Well, I'm gonna Veil again. He can recover back to full if he wants, but I'm gonna go ahead and Veil. Dynamaxes. Put up the Veil. Max Flare. I live on 4%. I'm gonna Toxic here. Put the Wedding Cake on a timer. And then I'll die. And then I go into Caparajah and... I'm thinking about this right now. I swear I wish I had Max Guard. He's 2 turns on his G-Max. Caparajah. Alcremie. Dynamax. Dynamax. In Sun. Behind Veil. He's not touching me, and Caparajah comes in and kind of just sweeps, I think. So, Dynamax, Ironhead, the Stone Surge. Ninetales came off. 34%. Alcremie goes down. That is a big boy elephant there. I still have a couple turns of Veil. Attack at -1. Arcanine. Arcanine take damage. Yes, so it's not boots. It's leftovers, right? So Intimidate triggers. Harsh Sun, non-Dynamaxed. Flare Blitz is not knocking me out. Max Quake is going to do a ton to him. Flare Blitz. He crit me. That crit definitely mattered. Jeez, that crit. Gengar. 48 to 57. I pretty much go Gengar and Shadow Ball. The Vish could still come back and sweep me is the problem. Okay, Arcanine goes down. Zatu's down. Sorry, I forgot to clear Zatu. Yeah, so it's definitely Scarfed Vish. So I'm going to sack off Orbeetle here to Scarfed Vish. Banded. Choice Band Crunch. Hydreigon. Draco Vish. Choice Band Crunch. Does nothing to me. He actually can't beat Hydreigon, so... Dark Pulse on the Jirachi switch in. Yep. So I'm going to take out Jirachi. And then I'll take out the... Jirachi goes down. Orbeetle goes down. And Dragon Pulse will finish the Fisherman off. That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that Joe had to go on to Showdown. He didn't want to play it on Showdown, but GG's to Joe. Guys, check out his link down below, please. Go show him some love. Go sub to him. Go comment. Just go show him some love. I feel bad that this is what happened, but GG's to Joe. We pick up our second win, and we're moving on to week 5, and hopefully we can get connected. So, see you guys next time.